Okay, now we're good.
Yeah. Okay, good. So I'll just start. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode on Dave Daniel Leadership Podcast. I am your host, Dave Daniel, and as you know, this is a community for leaders to become better, to serve better, to love better, and to lead better. So, joining me on today's episode is Lynette Farmer. She is a resident at St. Louis, Missouri. She is the host of Nice to Meet You podcast, where she's inspiring others to become the best version of themselves. She's a child of God, and her passion and purpose in life is to impart young people and help them build their character so they would understand they can do anything they set their mind to. So, everyone, join me in welcoming Lynette Farmer.
Thank you for having me, David.
Welcome to David Daniel Leadership Podcast. I am really honored and I'm happy to have you on today's episode. So, on today's episode, we'll be talking about goal setting. Goal setting. So, that is what we are going to be talking about. So, what do you understand when you when someone tells you about goal setting? What comes to your mind first? What is that thing that comes to your mind first?
So setting goals is it's planning. And I love to plan. That's just like I
Yeah.
love to be organized. I love to be prepared. And so goals like give me direction. It like tells me where to go, when to stop, when to start, how far I've gone, how far I've been, how much further I need to go.
Okay.
It's just if without them, I would just be like lost.
Wow. Okay. That's nice. That's nice. So, for me, when I hear about goal setting, I believe it's about me being able to be accountable for everything I do. When I hear goal setting, it's about me being able to account for everything I do, being able to account for people around me, being able to account for something I want to do. So it is about accountability. So that I believe goal setting is about we being able to take responsibility for everything. Yes, we can't control everything, but what is in our power to control, we should be able to control. So I believe that is where goal setting comes in. So it now helps us to prioritize. And you know, in now, especially at this period, you see a lot of people have something to do, but a lot of things they have to do, but they do not know what to do first. They do not know what to do second. They don't know what to do last. So I believe it is where goal setting comes in that helps them to prioritize and everything they want to do. So for me, when I hear goal setting, I think it's about being accountable for everything you want to do. So what does goal setting when you set goals? Why do you set goals?
Like you
When you
said,
set goals.
I'm sorry. Like you said, it holds me account. It holds myself. I get to hold myself accountable. And it's like accountability because like I'm checking in with myself. I'm like I don't have any. Kind of like when you're in elementary or when you're in like grade school and the teacher like checks in with you every so often. And when you become an adult, like I'm grown now, there's nobody to like check in and make sure that I'm doing this, and that. And
Yeah.
so if to me, so you can make goals, but like writing them down somewhere or like typing them somewhere. And so you can go in and like make a checklist and to make sure that you're hitting all of those goals. And so when you talked about like prioritizing is that so what you should do or what I do is that I make small goals. So like I have a big goal at the end, but like I
Yeah.
have to hit these targets, like these small goals and prioritize. And so I put them in like chronological order. And so like I need to do this first. I need to do that second. I need to do that third. But I got that big,
Yeah.
that ultimate goal at the
Goals.
end
Yeah.
that I want to get. And so the reason that I make them small is because it gives me confidence. So when I
Yeah.
hit like one and I hit two and I hit three, it's like, man, I'm getting confidence and I'm like, I can do it. Like I can get to the end.
Yeah. Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. That's really interesting because for me, just like what you said, because I believe that when we do things, we should have reasons why we do things. So just like I said, it helps me to be accountable because I remember when I was younger than this, really, really, really young. So, and at the beginning of the year, my dad would be like, okay, everyone just go and sit at a private place and set out your goals for this year. What do you want to get from this year? What do you want to achieve in this year? So then I'll be like, what? I don't want to set goals. I don't want to set goals. But now when I came to understand what setting goals mean, how it helps my life, I was like, okay, yeah. I didn't even wait for him to tell me to set goals. Like, I just go get my book, start writing things down. And so for this year, and yeah, we're still in this year when we're making things up. So for this year, one of my goals was like, okay, I have to increase my level of influence. I have to be able to influence people more. I have to be able to preach to people more about what I know, about to make the world a better place. So I said, okay, how can I do that? Then I set goal that, okay, for me to do that first, I need to gain some certain knowledge. So at the beginning of this year, I told myself, okay, David, you just have to read a lot. You have to go to seminars a lot. You have to gain knowledge. You have to get a mentor. You have to let people teach you what you don't know and things for you to be able to teach other people or to lecture other people. So I'm like, okay, I knew that won't be easy, but I just have to do it. So I set the goal. Then I make sure every day I get a book to read. I listen to a TED talk. I make sure I try to attend leadership seminars and conferences. So and normally if I didn't write that down, if I didn't set that goal, I knew I won't be able to achieve that. But because I wrote it down, I know, okay, I have to do this. Even though there's no one who's going to accuse me of not achieving the goals, but because I wrote it down and it is registered to my mind, so I know, okay, I have to achieve this. And if I don't achieve it, I know I will feel that personally. So, and here I am making episodes on leadership podcast, and it's been really amazing. So it makes me feel accountable. So when you said it helps you to be able to achieve things and stuff, so it leads me to another question: that how does goal setting increase your level of achievement? How does it increase your level of achievement?
So, like you were talking, I could just feel your passion. Like you are my kind of person, because like I wake up every day, and so like you said, sense of achievement. So I had been at a point where I didn't set any goals. I would wake up every day and I would go to this job that I'm at now, and I would feel empty. And so that sense of achievement is like when you're fulfilling, like you're influencing the lives of others. And so when I'm hitting my goals, I'm feeling like that confidence is being built up more and more and more, and I'm not feeling empty, because the feeling of emptiness is just not a good feeling. And when you have
Yeah.
no direction in life, and you don't have any plans, you don't have any goals, you wake up, and so you're surviving, you're not living. And I'll
Mm,
say that again, like
mm.
you're surviving,
Wow.
and that's a
You're
lot.
not living.
Yes, yes, and that's a lot. Black people, so I'll say in America because I'm in the U.S. And so we've been through like slavery, we've been through like a lot of things, and so
I
we've
get you.
learned how to survive. And so I want us, and so like I want to be an influential person to help us live, to wake up every day with, to be intentional about what we're doing and where we're going, because we're just like trying to make it from day to day, and we're not thinking about like the future. And so we're building, if you have goals and like you're trying to leave a legacy for the generation that's coming behind you. So that sense of achievement is like me hitting my goals, and on top of that, influencing others while I do it. Because it's all
Yeah.
about
Wow.
leaving your legacy and impacting the next generation.
Yeah. So I know you've been so intrigued about legacy because your profile alone, it's worthwhile. It's something amazing. When you sent me your profile, I was like, wow. I was inspired. I was like, wow, this person is really,
Thank
really
you.
ready to influence people's lives. So that's just keep it up. That's really amazing. So for me, goal setting, how it helped me affect my sense of achievement is it keeps me motivated when I want to do things, when I want to work with people. I just know, okay, when I want to work with a team. I know first, when I want to work with them, I tell them, okay, let's set this goal. Let's set this month goal. Let's set 6 month goal. Let's set a year goal. Just because that goal keeps us motivated. We get to go back to it when we're trying to be down, review it, we rewrite it, we reschedule it, we reread it,
Yeah.
just to make sure our mindset is our life is registered to that goal, just to make sure we are always motivated. And I believe goal setting is something that is really, really important in life of people. Because, there are a lot of people, like now, let's take entrepreneurship for an example. A lot of people want to become an entrepreneur, but not everyone sets that goal to
Yes.
achieve that certain level of achievement. Everyone, you ask a child at the grocery and just tell that child that what do you want to become? They can tell you, oh, I want to become Bill Gates. I want to become Mark Zuckerberg. I want to become Elon Musk. But when they get to that level, okay, now they start making decisions. They do not set that goals. They do not set that goals. This is what brings me to. Do you believe in attainable goals and non-attainable goals? I just want to get that.
Somewhat. So I'll say that. Okay, so I said initially to build your confidence, I encourage you to make attainable goals because it's all about building your confidence. And
Yeah.
if you feel like you're climbing up a mountain, like it's an uphill battle, and you feel like you can't get there, and it's like your confidence is like suffering because you didn't set an attainable goal. And so I say that if you're new to the goal process, to set attainable goals first to build your confidence. And so
Yeah.
then you can increase your level of like goals. You can set higher and higher goals because you built that confidence. And I will not say, because I know we throw that like saying out there, the sky is the limit, but
Yeah.
it's true. It's all
Yeah.
about, I feel like only you can stop you.
Mm,
Only you can stop
nice.
you. So I feel like there really aren't any unattainable goals. It's just how you set them. Just start off small
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I want to say, because I just believe there are unattainable deadlines in which the date, like now, let's say I come and I want to become a billionaire by next week. It's an unattainable deadline because there is no how I would become a billionaire by next
Yeah.
week. But let's say I said I want to become a billionaire in the next 20 years. I want to become a billionaire in the next 15 years. At least we know, okay, for me to do that, I have to work hard. I have to do the right things. I have to get the right mindset, have the best teams and people to work with to achieve that certain goal. So I believe it is the deadlines, it is the date attainable deadline. Sorry, that is the thing. I believe there is not like unattainable goals, because we all set goals, and there are sometimes we set goals that are bigger than us, which is
Yeah.
what makes it amazing when we set goals that are bigger than us, because when we set goals bigger than us, that is where we get to rely on people, get to work with people, get to teamwork comes in at that moment, because that is what we are built. That is how God created us, for us to be able to work with each other, to help each other. So I believe
Yes.
there is nothing like unattainable goals, but deadlines. So what are the key factors when you're setting goals? What are the key factors you look into? What are the effective keys to goal setting?
Can I go back to something you said? Can I add to
Yeah,
what you just said before I answer your question?
yeah,
What comes to mind is unrealistic expectations. And
yeah,
so sometimes we can say for instance, like with a kid that may be like 5 years old and
yeah.
their mom has in their head that they're going to be this basketball star, but they can't even dribble. Like, and then, okay, so like get them at like 10 or 15 and they're still having a hard time dribbling, or they're not like, and not to stifle that child's confidence, but maybe they need to shift, because sometimes goals
Yeah,
shift, and maybe they may be good at soccer or they may be good at football, and
yeah,
it's not that you're discouraging them, it's just that you are shifting them in a direction that may
yeah.
be a little bit
Good
more
at.
realistic for them.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, are the keys to effective goals?
Okay. So I said that initially is like starting off small. And like I
Yeah.
said, because if we start off big, it's like we'll give in, we'll throw in the towel before we even get we'll even get started. And so also the word grace. The
Mm,
word grace is very important, because you have to give yourself some grace, because you're going to
yeah,
make mistakes. You're going to hit bumps in the road, and it's going to throw
yeah.
you off path and things like that. But everything is always working out for you. Even when it doesn't seem
Mm,
like it is, it is. And so give yourself
wow.
some grace, make the goal small. So like create like, so you have your end goal, but then you have several small goals to get to
Mm,
that end goal. And so
yeah,
and then giving yourself compassion and giving yourself grace. And then another thing is celebrate.
mm,
Celebrate, like give yourself like little small celebrations. I don't know,
yeah.
go out to eat.
Pat yourself at the back.
Yeah. Because, I mean, if you don't, I mean, I feel like you'll just be discouraged. And if you
Mm,
continue to celebrate, it's just building that confidence, that sense of achievement. And you're like, man, I can do this. I can do this. And another like very powerful thing, and I just said that with the child with basketball, is being able to shift.
yeah.
Because sometimes you need to check in with yourself every so often when you're completing your goals, because you might realize your goal has changed.
Mm,
And for example, when I started off going, when I went back to school, I thought I wanted to go into clinical lab, and I had all these goals. I'm like, I'm going to take this class, take that class, take this class. And when I got to the program, I'm like, I felt that emptiness again. I'm like, I don't
mm.
want to be in this program. So I had to
Oh,
shift. I had to have
okay.
the ability to shift. And so I ended up in elementary education. And how I did that is I was talking to an advisor, and I was talking to them about the clinical lab program. I'm like, this is whack. I don't want to do this. And I started to ask them about the education program. And when I asked them about the education program, that's when the light went off. And I was like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But if I would have felt defeated when at that time, when I felt empty, when I was doing the clinical lab, and I would just given up and dropped out of school again. See, I feel like we have to have the ability to shift, because we have to be able to check in with ourselves, because goals change, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay when goals change. We just have to be able to shift with them. So, like I said, small goals, giving yourself some grace, being able to shift, like I said, celebrating yourself so you can continue to build that confidence. And yeah.
So you stated being able to shift.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being able to shift is being able to navigate, being able to change, being able to know when you have to be true to yourself, you have to be honest, because to be true to themselves, to be honest to themselves that okay, I'm not good at this place. I just have to look for somewhere where I can explore more, where I can show my gift more, where I can influence more. I think that effective goal setting. I think first of all, you just have to have the right goal setting. You have to have the optimistic mindset. You have to be optimistic. You have to be true. And when I mean optimistic, I don't mean that you should not get ready for challenges, to get ready for disappointment. But when I mean optimistic, just be have that mindset that you will surely make it, you will surely succeed, you will surely achieve this goal in which you are setting. When you've had the right mindset, then you having that vision that will now lead you to setting that goal. So when you have the right mindset, you have the you believe in important things while setting goals. Then when you've done that, just keep up with your goals. If not every day, but try in a week. You should always review your goal, because you don't want to lose.
Yes.
You don't want to be you don't want to be disappointed in yourself when not achieving that goal. But when you keep up with the goal, even though you did not achieve that goal, you are towards the goal, even though you didn't meet what you said. So I believe you just have to have the right mindset, have the uh, and just keep up with it day to day, week to week, and all that. So I just want to ask, what advice? This pandemic has caused a lot of things, has disrupted a lot of things. So what advice do you have for people who has gotten off track? A lot of people have set goals, and I deals with them moving outside to do some things, but now things. What is your advice?
So my advice for them would be to as I said, I mentioned that word grace, because when this pandemic happened, I feel like everything was taken from me. And so I had to take a step back and say, like, what is this? Because like I said, I have a goal to become a teacher. And my goal to become a teacher, I felt like with this pandemic, I'm in the house, like my classes are online now, and man, will I have to shift? Will it take longer for me to complete my degree? I miss talking to people. I miss seeing humans. I miss all of that. And so
Yeah.
what I'll tell people is to, like I said, everything is always working out for you. And so
Yeah.
my podcast came about during this pandemic. And so I feel like, so I'll let them know that right now you're able to sit down and reflect and you see things more clearly. And I feel like now this is a lot of shifting going on. And so this is not for the
Wow.
weak. This is not for the faint. This is not for the
Yeah.
lost of heart. This is for those that have that confidence and to know that no matter the things do not look like how you want them to look, what
Yeah.
can you find within this challenging time? What can you take out of that? What creativity can you find within this pandemic? And so,
Yeah.
like I said, I've created a whole podcast, a whole Instagram page, a whole
Yeah.
and when I was so busy, I didn't even know this existed. And
Wow.
so it's like look within and sit with yourself and write down like the things that you like and the things that you don't like. And when you do that, like I made a list, like when you do that, goals come from that. And you
Yeah.
might find out different goals that you didn't even know that you needed to achieve. And so, and it's like the world looks different, but it doesn't stop. Even if you're in the house more, there's so many things you can do. So many people, like we're talking now on Zoom. We're in
Yeah.
different countries. This is amazing. Like we're in different countries. Like don't limit yourself. And so even though like the initial shock, I know that like man, like it was a big shift. But once you settle, get your bearings and get time to reflect and talk to God most of all, because God says He won't put more on us than we can bear.
Yeah.
And when he said that, he meant that. And so
Yeah.
just sit and ask him, like, God, what do you want me to learn during this time? What do you want me to do different? How can I still reach out to people? How can I still
Yeah.
influence people even though I'm in my house? And
Yeah.
so I encourage people to look more within now.
Yeah.
And don't get discouraged because everything is always working out for you.
Good. Yeah. What you said really, really, it's really true because now it just goes with this quote that says, "Within every failure there is a seed of greatness." So now it can look as if it's there are a lot of bad things happen in the pandemic, but there are a lot of good things that happened during this pandemic.
Yes.
Now I was reading an article about the same Zoom we're using. The company started since 2016, I guess, but they didn't really get their big break until 2020 during this pandemic. So
Yes.
if you can imagine, see what happened to them, and there are a lot of great things that's happened in the world right now. So during this pandemic, a lot of great things. We just have to shift our mind from where we've programmed our mind to be to the positive things we can take out of this pandemic. Great things have happened. A lot of support has happened.
Yes.
Instagram has done a lot of things for businesses. The Black Lives Matter has
Yes.
gone a lot. It has gained a lot of attention, and I just pray that everyone would achieve everything they've set this year. So I believe we just have to really visit our goals right now because a lot of things have happened. Then shift our mind from where to something new. Now, here in Nigeria, online schooling is not that big deal. It's not really something that we've been into. But during this pandemic, it forced us to go into this online teaching, and it's been amazing. You
Yes.
can just visit class whenever you want and just
Yes.
attend class whenever you want. So it's been really amazing. This pandemic has brought a lot of things. It has inspired, it has birthed a lot of things. I have so many friends that they've really done amazing things during this pandemic. I have a lot of colleagues who have done amazing things during this pandemic. So I believe this pandemic should know, yeah, it's had some comma, it had some roadblocks, but we came out stronger, we came
Yes.
out taller, we came out better. So that was really what inspired me to just keep influencing and just keep. So when I checked your page, by the way, I saw you doing amazing things. So guys, just please check her page out. It's really amazing. She has great content and she speaks good things. She knows what she's saying, so she's really good. So I checked your page and I was like, wow, okay, this is a fellow podcaster, and I really love when I see someone who is doing great things, and we believe in the same goals, we believe in the same story. So I said, okay, let me just chat you up and just see if you're going to accept the collaboration. And wow, to my amazement, you just accepted, and you. So I believe right now we just have to change our mind from where we've kept it to look at the positive side to do great things. So how do you prioritize your goals? Like now, you let's say you have like now you said you switch to elementary school, elementary education. So let's say now you prioritizing between elementary education and some other and there are some times in our lives whereby two things get to have the same value, get to have the same results, the same they get to have the same attention in our life. So how do you get to prioritize between two things that needs your attention the most?
All right. So, well, like with education, so I have to, so the plan that they gave me to graduate, so I graduated in May of 2021. And
Yeah.
so initially when I started like the teaching program, I had to go sit with an advisor and they had to tell me I need to take this class, that class, this class, that class. And so what I do is I check in with that plan every so often and say, did I take this class? There's a degree audit that you can run to make sure to see
Okay.
like the percentages of how many classes I finished, how many classes I have left. And so I'm making sure that I'm following that plan. Because if I go off that plan, I'm not going to graduate in May of 2021. And so
Oh.
far, like every so often, I'm checking in with my advisor. And so I prioritize making sure I'm taking the right classes, first of all, making sure that I'm studying, making sure that I'm attending classes, making sure that I'm paying attention because I will need all this stuff later. When I'm no longer behind the teacher, the professor, when I'm out on my own, I will have to rely on what they taught me. So if I don't pay attention, if I don't put forth the effort, I can't blame no one but myself if I'm not ready. So
Yeah.
making sure that I'm taking the right classes in the right order. They gave me this plan. And if I veer off of it, then I will have to, maybe it'll shift my date a little bit. So making sure I'm staying on the plan, making sure that when I'm in class, I'm engaged, I'm
Yeah.
doing my work. So in that order.
And
And
keeping up
then,
with you.
I'm sorry.
You said and keeping up with your advisors.
Yeah, you're keeping up with my advisor and then making sure that when it's time for me to take the assessments that I need to take, I'm taking those. And then I'm going into student teaching, making sure that I'm getting everything. Because right now, this is the training process. So like with boxing, you go through all the training, then you work with the trainer, kind of like, Rocky. Rocky isn't real, but
Yeah.
they go through the trainer and then they get prepared for the big fight. And like there's training
Yeah.
for that. So right now, I'm making sure that I'm in a training. I'm doing everything that I need to do to be the best teacher that I can be for those students because
Yeah.
it's all about impacting and influencing others. And so if
Yeah.
I'm not prepared, then I'm doing a disservice to those young people because
Yeah.
I'm influencing their lives. And so prioritizing goals it isn't only for me. It isn't only for me to keep myself on track. It's for the impact and the influence that I'm going to make on the lives of the
The
young
children, the
people.
students.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I would just say right now you just have to, when you have a lot of goals for you to prioritize between, just write them down as a top three order. Just state them down. Then when you state them down, your mind would be able to prioritize between the three. Let's say you have three high priority goals right now. Then you write them down and top three order. So when you get to write them down top three order, just naturally your mind will be able to tell you which one to write first, write second, and third. So when you write them like that and you look at them, rewrite, and you see, okay, I'm comfortable with how this is. I think it will be easier for you to know which one to give higher priorities in the higher prioritized goal. So I think you just have to state them down and write. So right now, before we go, because it's been really amazing with you, and I just want to say, there are some listeners right now that they are like, okay, I don't really know much about goal setting. I don't know I don't understand the value goal setting does to my life. So I just want you to give them something you have for them right now to set goals?
First of all, I want to say that God has given you everything that you need. So when you say that you are enough, you already have everything that you need inside of you. It's up to you to tap into that. You have to tap into what God has put inside of you. And so in spite of, okay, so I'll tell them, in spite of the challenges or the mistakes that you've made, it's never too late. So I'll say that we put timelines on things. And so I went back to school after being out of school for 13 years. And
Wow.
so I want to encourage them and let them know that do not confine yourself to timelines, and do not get discouraged when you create these goals. Like you said, you make this one, you make this one two, you make this one three. And sometimes they might not go in that order. Keep
Yeah.
going. That's what I tell you. Keep pushing. And so, like I said, only you can stop you. And so when
Hmm.
you get discouraged and when you get down, reach out to people. Like we're talking now, me and David. Reach out to
Yeah.
influential people. Like trying to find a role model. Try to find a mentor, because you hold yourself accountable, but there's other people out there that are also hold you accountable. You need an
Yeah.
accountability partner, because sometimes we all need encouragement. We all sometimes we
Yeah.
get discouraged and things like that. And so I encourage you to seek out people that are like-minded like you, or someone that'll push you and that will not accept your excuses. And so I encourage you to seek out those people. Like David, what he say? He seeked me out. He saw me on Instagram and he made this happen. And so
Yeah.
you would know, like I said, he's in Nigeria and I'm in the US. Like, this is crazy. And so don't limit yourself. It doesn't matter. Like I said, the sky's the limit. So I encourage you to, like I said, number one is to seek out. If you're feeling down and discouraged right now with this pandemic and you're wondering like where things are gonna go, seek out those people. Like you said, Instagram, Facebook, social media. Like it's so many resources. Just seek out resources and pray to God. If you're a believer, pray to God and ask God to give you some direction, because like you want to fulfill your purpose. Because once you get on the path of your purpose, life will be so much more happier. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, believe you me, you will be so much more happier when you find out what your purpose is, what your calling is. And so yeah, just seek out the resources, because we all need help. I know I need help.
Yeah.
So I'm not afraid to say that I need help.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, sure.
yeah, and then get you a journal. Start to like David said, start writing down your goals. And I know sometimes it may seem old fashioned to write things down,
Yeah.
but it's not. It's not old fashioned. I think that I heard
Not
someone
at
say,
all.
yeah, that you retain things more when you write it down. And so if you write down your goals, and then just start celebrating it. Buy yourself a cupcake or a cookie, and
Yeah.
the goals. And I know it may sound silly, but no, it'll build your confidence. And
Yeah.
like I said, just start somewhere. Just if you start, God will do the rest. So yeah.
Yeah, you get to motivate yourself. You get to push on, even you being disappointed, even you being broken, even you being unable to achieve your goals. But when you get to achieve the little steps you've made, the little goals you achieved, and you get to celebrate it, just like Lynette said, she said you should either get a cookie or you
Yeah.
just get a cupcake or anything, or just order for a pizza or anything, just to make sure you enjoy that moment, just for you to celebrate yourself. So wow. I am really filled, Lynette. I'm really filled. Like everything you've said back to back has been really amazing. So I'll just on the advice Lynette said. She said we should all seek out, just trying to find friends, trying to find family members in which you can confide in, you can lay on, you can rest on, you can trust them. Just
Yes.
try to reach out to them. Then said you should find a mentor. Yeah, that's really true. We all need mentors. So because of you are just starting, because you've not known how the value goal setting brings to your life, the sense of achievement it does to you. So you just have to find someone who can teach you, can align you in that road. So Lynette, I think we just have to bring the meeting to an end here. So I just want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much for you being able to do this with me. I do not take this for granted. I really appreciate you. And I just say, anytime you need anything from me, I am always available, Lynette. So thank you very much. So guys, do not forget to check out Lynette's podcast. She has amazing content for everyone. So Thank you very much, and bye. We'll see you later.
All right, thank you. Thank you for having me. And can I give them my contact? Is
Yeah.
that okay? Okay, so it's nice. So it's NICE, and it's the number two, and it's MEET, and then U, the letter U podcast on Instagram. And then I'll have the link there. You can click it in my bio, and you can it'll link you to my podcast. And so I look forward to getting more listeners, and check out David. Like don't sleep on David. Like I appreciate you for seeking me out, and this has been amazing. I thank you and I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, bye bye.
Yeah.